welcome to the Dental Handoff. I'm Dr. Kelly Tanner, and today I have with me Aimee Vail. Aimee, how are you?
Oh, I'm just doing lovely on this March afternoon. Thank you for having me, Kelly.
Oh, love having you. You guys always hear that I say this, but Aimee and I run across each other at conferences, and I'm like, we've got to connect. And so finally, we got her on the show. So it's nice to spend time with you.
Yes, exciting.
Yeah. So, Aimee, tell us about why dentistry for you. Why did you choose it, or why do you feel like it chose you?
It actually I think some people will say dentistry chose me. And I needed a job when I was 19, right? And so I I answered this ad and that's what happened. And my first job was as an assistant, but it also turned into, helping him with his IT or fixing his cabinets or doing all the things, right? And then I went on to hygiene school because I saw the 3 hygienists and I was at practice, in which I'm still friends with them today, and I tell them, "This is you all had me become a hygienist because of what I saw there." It took me to the public health sector. I started my career in a community health center as a hygienist, and I absolutely love it. That's where I receive my care still today. And so, oh yeah, and then I taught at the university for 1 semester because then my surprise 3rd child decided that he would arrive, yeah. And so then, I pivoted. I dentistry took a back seat, and I opened up a auto shop with my ex-husband, and so I did that, but, yeah, I had a brick and mortar auto 4 tow trucks, auto body shop and selling cars, and then I did keep my Wednesday afternoon hygiene job with, here in town. And so, fast forward, and then I got into corporate, and I was and so that was really, kind of eye-opening at that, and I spent, 8 years there, doing that, and so now here I am again in dentistry now doing entrepreneurship again myself. I have my own, consulting firm now and, great client base. They're very much into the, med tech and so recently, last week, because we are growing, my partner and I now we have a I just, brought her on and, Kendra Flowers, and we opened up Merkaba, Health and Merkaba, Strategy and Health Advisors.
That's awesome. That is that is quite the career path.
Yeah.
Do people ask you all the time, like, "How did you get from here to here?" Do they ask you that?
Yeah, it's very, and I love that too. And people's stories, it's just not on that straight and narrow. It's up here and up here. And what I find though is the foundations that you've built, you discover, because I've had quite a career now, right? And so you discover 25 years later, it's like, oh, wow, I was doing that 20 years ago, and this has helped me build on this, and honestly, I've done this skill, and it's kinda looked familiar, and it's like, "Oh, okay, this is good." It's so
Right.
it is just it's great, and when I'm very self-aware too, so it's almost like, "Wow, I did that back then, and now it's transferring to this over here," so you never know. I love my kind of I don't wanna say messy, but my kind of eclectic path that I've gone into so many things and very adapted. Oh, did I mention my military service? So
No.
so yeah, right. So I did that as well for 6 years in the Guard, and that also, helped with, some just being, mission focused, right? We talk in there a lot of leadership in the military as well. So all of it just it's I feel like I have a great foundation, and I'm so ready to even get more out of this industry. There's so much opportunity in this industry. It's amazing.
There really is. It's, a lot of people think that when they well, regardless of whether you're a dental assistant, whether you're front office, administrative, whether you're a dentist, a hygienist, we can seem to feel like it is always like this, but whatever you're open to is what I feel like arrives for you. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. When you have that, kind of that abundance mindset, things come. I said again, I am amazed at the opportunity in this industry. What's gonna happen this year just for just what we're doing is I couldn't even dream, right? I just couldn't even, dream 20 years ago, well, 26 years ago when I started in dental. I couldn't even dream that, say, we're, have planning a big event, right? Or just writing multiple courses for, and just attending 6 conferences in Q1. It's like, wow, it's great. I wish I was 10 years younger though, but because of the energy, because there is, I often feel like the capacity and the time and the age sometimes too, like I just, I just wanna grab all the opportunities now, there's
Yeah.
yeah, without
So it sounds like also that you've had a lot of ideas throughout your career that have, like, when you have an idea, you've pursued it. When you have a gut feeling, you pursued it. Talk a little bit about, to our audience, about what that feels like, how to follow the nudge. I'm just kind of, because I think we all get that nudge.
Mhm.
How can you give advice on how to follow the nudge and not get trapped in fear?
Oh, well, the body really talks to you, and so again, the self-awareness too. Let's go right here that we live and breathe in our bodies. It'll message you. Like, I really listen, and if something doesn't feel right now, it'll give you a signal. And when something does feel really right, you feel that. You feel that passion coming through. It doesn't even feel like work. My son is 18, right? And so I tell him, please, when you're doing something, when you're, say, you're on the baseball field, you're on the basketball court, I know you love to do that, but think outside. What else are you loving to do in your studies? Because that's really what it is. When you get that feeling, like, people tell me, they're like, Amy, I love your energy because I love what I'm doing. Right. And there have been times in my life in the last 5 years, 8 years, that people have come up and say, "I see your different energy too. I see the way that you were at this moment, and I see you at this moment, and I can
Oh,
see that
that's cool.
change." Mhm. So when people are also telling you that, sometimes they tell you in hindsight, right? They were like, "Wow, you were
How
really," you know, the
always it's
I
always like,
remember.
"You should have been in that relationship. That wasn't good for you." It's like, "Really? You tell me now?"
I know, they were like, "Wow, you really looked awful at Chicago winter, but you look great now."
Friends. This is what friends do, right? This
Too. And I'm so grateful for that, but really the fear, there should be some fear if, like, if you, like, "Oh gosh, I can't do that," but no fear when you can, it really feels right to you, and sometimes it's that pivot, and that and sometimes life will give you those obstacles, and you have to figure it out, and out of fear you need to move, right? And sometimes, and so if you are fearful, really, like, look in, hone in on what your energy is guiding you to, and what your where your passion lies, because it really, it'll just bleed out of you with passion, right? That's how it is with me. um, and I was just talking this, we can talk about this, but the dental entrepreneur that I'm very much involved with, and I hosted the coffee chat on Wednesday, and we talked about this pivot. We talked about this messy middle. It's what happens when life gives you these, I call them getting hit by a 2 by 4. And, when life hits you with a 2 by 4, what are you gonna do? You need to pivot, and sometimes that fear will drive you, but really listening to that energy and passion that you can resonate with. Mhm.
Yeah, it's like one of my friends, Heidi, says, you can, when you feel fearful or when you feel like you're stuck, you're not a tree. You can move.
Yep.
You're not a tree. You can go anywhere you want to get out of it, to move forward out of it.
Yeah.
But it's that, we all know what fear stands for, is false evidence appearing real. And we haven't even we haven't even for the same way that you can live in faith,
Mhm.
we live in fear for something that hasn't happened. So it's a choice that we make. And it's sometimes moment by moment because we don't even realize how it builds up in our systems to be like, how was this anxiety in me created all of a sudden? How did I get to red? And then we realize it wasn't even anything that other person that happened, that it's something inside of ourselves that was a story that we told ourselves that was true that no longer serves us. We got to reboot. When we feel like that we're living in an old operating system, to recognize that, to say, does that still serve me?
Absolutely. Does it still serve me? Because things that served me 5 years ago was not serving me now,
That's
right?
right.
Absolutely, and definitely a different person, and you learn and grow, and had taking these opportunities help you to grow even more too. So I try, and you also have to have, like, criteria too that, to determine whether you wanna move forward. It's not just, "Oh my gosh, I feel," because sometimes, you can have that feeling of, "Yes, we gotta do it," but maybe it's not right? So you have to have, like, the, like, criteria, of what you're going to, align with as well. I have that, say with people I work with, right? I have certain things to make sure that they align with my values, and now I'm at a point in my life where, you know, I would like to work with people that have the same values, and align with me because that's not everybody matches. Mhm.
Right. And then I think it's important, to your point, there's a lot of people who say yes to everything, say yes to everything. And while that works for a while, you have to learn when to say no because it doesn't align with like your core values. And does this align with what it is that you want to be doing and who you want to serve? And then quite honestly, Amy, that's when sometimes I'm just literally not available for things to say, "Hey, I'm booked that day," or "I can't attend that conference. Thank you so much for the invitation, but I know who can help you. Amy can help you." This is where we partner together to say, even if you're not available, maybe it doesn't align with what you're doing at that time, or your focus is different for that
Sure.
year, right? And to know people that do align with that and to link them up with someone else who can help them and support them. So to have that support network. And Amy, I know that you're what, the membership services chair for Do, and tell people about that because Do has grown so much over the years and does such great things.
Yes. Oh, I love to talk about Dental Entrepreneur Woman because they really did when elevate me to another level. Watching women, I know you said you were, in do, right? Watching yourself, and getting to emulate all of these women that are, the different stages of growth, right? And so, as we said, I'm not the same person as I was 5 years ago. I feel like now I have my own consulting business, right? And so different. But with Do, I was able to watch these women that are doing it. And I didn't have strong women role models, right? So I think that's why I'm kind of sometimes late to the I don't want to say late to the game, but I felt like, I felt like I needed to, I doesn't even catch up. I needed to do more. And I didn't know that there was so much more out there. And so my first Do conference, I was, like, blown away. I was like, "Wow."
There's more than you ever realized.
More than I ever realized, and
Exactly.
so, I've attended the Do conference now. This is my 5th year, and every speaker on there, I learned how to set boundaries from, Dr. Joy. I learned, just to even love myself even more from, some of these things, some of the, like, keynote speakers, and just taking away these lessons. And a lot of us are, again, spinning 10 plates. They write books, they have businesses, they have, doing all of these, they're speakers. And I'm like, wow, these are amazing. And so it just is wonderful to kind of be folded up into this community and watch all of these wonderful women doing it. And so wherever I can help, and it was they call me the Pied Piper of Do because I do. I'm very much of an includer, and when my first conference ever in dental, I remember going with, a male boss, right? And I don't know if he was, a networker or what have you, but I was left to my own devices, right? It wasn't, so that resonated with me, and I did because of my personality, but um I found people, but now it's like if I see somebody, woman, right, and often at conference, kind of just there, maybe sipping on her drink or trying to play. I'm like, hey, what do you think? Come on in. And then if I it was so funny. We had like a conga line from because now I like pick up the women at the conference. I'm like, come on, you gotta come over to do and see. And do you need a community of women that are going to support you? And they're like, oh yes. I'm like, great. I mean, the community has changed my life. Ann Duffy, the CEO, is simply amazing, and we are growing. She brought in her daughter-in-law. We have she's the operations director, and it's just a beautiful community of support. I mainly talk to dues, right? That's one of our principles is to call a due, honor each other in each other's absence. Um, dues never stop, all of these things. And so belonging to this community of women and having a way, an outlet to even talk about things. When I was having HR problems, I had three dues with HR backgrounds, right? If,
Awesome.
if we post on our community chat, hey, we're speaking, you should have seen one of our dues is speaking this afternoon. And there was a whole text message. Don't forget to support Kristen Evans, right? She's a fantastic speaker. But that's what we do. We champion each other. And that's how it is. It's, of course, call and be like, oh, I can't believe it. But they really it is. It's championing each other. You're speaking, you're doing this. We make, a room for you. And then the meetups, I coordinate meetups at every conference that I go to have that sense of community, right? And so uh, I put all as many people as I can into a Facebook group for the conference so that nobody could be alone, and we schedule dinners and
That's
things
awesome.
like that to be around each other and so now it's very exciting. I'm building out chapters for this now because we're growing, and when somebody comes in to do when they onboard, you'll go into a region and a chapter because of sales, right? And so that's I always broke my sales team out of regions, and so
Yeah.
and they have chapters. Yeah, it makes sense, right? And so with this, but you have a community. I noticed these organic kind of leaders were emerging. I flew out to Florida. We had a do meetup. I flew out to Chicago. We have a do meetup, and I'm like, well, what if I'm not there? We should have a community within there. So, our members, if you can't attend conferences and stuff, because they get kind of expensive and, timing and wherever you are. So having that community within your community is something that we're building now. So exciting.
I love that. Yeah, and it seems like there are do meetups at every single conference that I'm at, which I it's so you guys, what it's like is for those of y'all who have like a high school reunion sometimes, or sometimes there's alumni meetups at the larger dental
Mhm.
meetings too. It's a group like that that it's like, okay, if you don't go to the annual conference, the do annual conference, and you get to see other dues and get to know dues in that area or dues who are at that conference. And I swear it always seems like that I'm going like this when it seems like every single time that I'm going to another event, like a gaggle of dues are like, "Hey, are you going?" And I'm like, "I can't go. I wanna go."
Well,
And I'm like, "I wanna cry because I'm doing this over here," but to know that it's there and to know that the support is there because, Amy, your story about, not growing up around a strong female presence and mentoring, that's true for a lot of us. And, when people ask you who your hero is, some of us don't know because some of us didn't have that mentoring. We found them later on in life, didn't we? But growing up, would it have been cool to have that? Yeah, and we all grow up at different times of our life and need that mentoring at different times of our life and our careers. And sometimes somebody can say something so I know me, and it just hits different because of where I am. I could hear the exact same thing, but it's like, "Oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
I get it." And to have that in your life is just what a gift.
It is. I'm so grateful for it. And with the meetups too, you don't have to be a dude. You can always come and just, see what it's like to always welcome with that. And I try, I know I look at like the catalog before. I was like, who's speaking? And so trying to do that, but really trying to plan those. I know everybody's so busy, right? We're all spinning 10 plates. We are such, the women, we're doing it all the time. It's DEWing, right?
Yeah,
Doing we're
doing it. You don't
so
talk
I
about it, you do it.
yes, yes, indeed. Mhm.
Yeah. So, if people you guys, if you wanna join up, would do Amy's notes will be in the show notes, obviously, if you reach out to her, but, Amy, what else is, shaking for you? Where can people meet up with you or see you next? Are you traveling? I mean, I know some of the meetings are, kind of done for Q1, but where are you next?
So next I'm gonna go, for one of my clients to the AAPD. I
Yeah,
love it. When I do practice about 6 times a year, I am a pediatric hygienist, and so I, absolutely love the kiddos. Not that I don't like general, but I do prefer pediatric, but yes, so we'll be headed out to the AAPD
so
and
cool.
then, Florida Dental Conference, Dykema, and then I think, and then we'll be hosting an event, in September. We're planning that out now in Dallas.
For the do meetup, right?
Well, no, this is gonna be for my, consulting, company. We're gonna do an event. We're planning it now in Dallas.
Yeah.
So a small event because yeah, so I have that to do.
Good, fun.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
bringing your dream alive, right? And I think that's all of what you're describing is you guys, if you follow your heart, if you kind of connecting the dots of what she was saying, you follow your heart, you listen to your gut, you remain open to things. It all starts to make sense, doesn't it? In the rearview mirror, it's like, well, of course I'm doing that because I had that experience, and I proved to myself that I could do that. And when you take that next step in yourself and for yourself, and that next vote for who you want to be, that's where it leads you, and to all these amazing opportunities and yeah, just opportunities for yourself to prove to yourself again and again and again that you can do it.
That's right. I always said, 'cause, coming from not only clinical background, but a sales background, we had a goal to hit every month, right? And so when I was guiding any, of the sales team, I said, "Always remember, don't worry about that big goal at the end of the month because you remember what you did in the past. You have all of the knowledge and all of the skills to get to this goal because look at what you've done in the past. Look at how you can build on that foundation. Don't be scared of the future because look at how much you have accomplished in the past, human, right? So, and so that's one of the messages that, when you do have one of those daunting, scary things in your life, you say, "Oh, look at what I've done in the past. I got this."
Yeah, and it's so easy to just be like, "Okay, next. Okay, next." And we don't reflect back on the amazing things that we've been able to accomplish professionally as a human, overcome things emotionally, because all of that is real. All
Right.
of that is real, whether it's been through a breakup or, a parenting mishap. We all have those experiences, and to be there for each other and to acknowledge our growth in that.
Oh, yeah, as an entrepreneur, you absolutely have to have some of that, you know, gotta keep going that, right? You gotta have some of that in the
Yeah.
background. Yep,
And I
absolutely.
think that, as dental professionals too, that we're resilient. That's one of the things that I love about our profession is that we can, like to your point with the pivot, we'll bounce back. We're gonna figure it out.
That's right. That's right. That's
We always do. And that's what you figured out with yourself is that you can figure it out.
so far, yeah. For
Yeah.
sure. Yep.
Yeah. And to all of our listeners too. I mean, when you think that it's so hard that you can't go forward, you can. You will.
Oh,
And
yes.
you may feel like you're stuck and that you're having a hard time, but you just think about the things that you know and make the best decision for you at that time and lean into it and
Mhm.
and reach out for the support. When anyone says, I'm gonna stop doing this or I'm going to quit this or whatever. I'm like, okay, think about the support that you have around you right now and lean into that because you're getting ready to vacate all of what's comfortable for you and where are you going to? Where's that support for you? Think about your landing and where that can cushion you to help you.
Oh, yes. Yes, because it will that life will pull you back into the familiarity too, to go,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's not always, good to go back in there, just to go, forward.
No kidding. I was just talking about that earlier today
Mhm.
that I'm like, I'm choosing not to go back in the cycle. It's so easy to go back where it's familiar or whether it's relationship or business partners because because it's comfortable for
Yeah.
us. So
Yes.
know that you're meant for more and you can choose a different timeline anytime you want.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. Yes.
Choose the timeline.
Oh, I know. If you could dream it, do it. That's yeah. Mhm.
Do it. I like how you just work the do back in
And
now.
I did it.
You
Just
dream
do
it.
it.
Do it.
Yeah, that is
Well,
my
Amy, yeah, thank you so much for
mhm.
sharing your experience, sharing your insight. Thank you for all that you're doing for, the and like your consulting business. And, we didn't really even get to that and all the cool things that you get to do with the med tech, but like for the membership and connecting people to like-minded people. And even if they're not like-minded, that they're like-hearted.
Yes. Yes.
That's so incredibly important in the world that we're in and how we are growing and evolving. So, if you guys want to reach out to Amy for anything for due memberships, for insight into what she's talked about today, we're dropping her information in the show notes. Amy, any final words?
Oh, again, thank you so much. Embrace the pivot, embrace your fear. One of my messages, do it scared. And yeah, if you could dream it, do it. So all of those Aimee Vail messages for the audience.
Yay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, for those of you all watching, you know that I always are listening. I always ask the favor to go on over to Apple Podcast, give the Dental Handoff a 5-star rating. Give it 5 stars. It's Apple's one is the one that matters. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hi, it's good to see you. And please go ahead and like the Dental Handoff and subscribe. Please be kind and do subscribe and drop a comment in the comments because it's what feeds the algorithm to let other people know to love us. Thanks for all that you do every single day to touch the lives that you do. And we'll see you again next week. Love you, friends. Sending love. Thank you, Amy.
Hi, thank you.